fast-paced run-and-gun offense. One player already standing out is Sophie Cunningham, who arrived in Indiana via Phoenix. Very interesting. I keep saying this young lady's about to have a huge impact on this team. I did.
Sophie Cunningham might be the most underrated weapon in the WNBA right now. She can play 4 different positions, shoot the lights out, and bring defensive intensity that changes games. Yet she's flying completely under the radar. Lexi Brown already predicted on her Full Circle podcast that Cunningham is about to have a breakout year with the Fever. I'm taking it a step further. She's not just breaking out, she's going to be chasing that 6th Woman of the Year award.
Last week, Cunningham's natural fit is at the 3 or small forward. For that reason, Brown predicted a breakout year for the former Mercury forward
as the secret weapon that transforms Indiana's entire season. Let me show you exactly why. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. What if I told you the Fever already have the perfect player to complement Caitlin Clark, and she's not even in the starting lineup? While everyone's been talking about how Clark will mesh with Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell, Sophie Cunningham is sitting there ready to completely change the game for Indiana. Sophie brings exactly what the Fever needed so badly, a veteran who can play multiple positions with serious shooting ability.
Could play 1 through 4 on any given night. The post highlights Cunningham's ability to be a Swiss Army knife on the court.
Last season, Indiana ranked near the bottom of the league in three-point shooting. Their spacing was terrible, which made it easy for defenses to collapse on their stars. Now imagine Clark driving to the basket and kicking it out to Cunningham waiting at the three-point line. That's a whole different problem for defenders. Most 6th women in the league are one-dimensional scorers who come in, get buckets, and head back to the bench. That's not Sophie. She breaks that mold completely. She's not just coming in to score. She's coming in to change the entire energy of the game. I've watched her play for years, and she brings this intensity that immediately spreads to her teammates. Lexi Brown already called this on her Full Circle podcast. She straight up predicted Cunningham will have a breakout year with the Fever, and there's real evidence backing that up. When Cunningham got consistent minutes with Phoenix, she showed she could do more than just contribute. She could take over stretches of games. Her shooting percentages have improved year after year.
Point guard, spot up, move off ball as a shooting guard, wing at the 2 or 3, and use her length and toughness.
And now she's landed in the perfect situation with a team that desperately needs what she brings. Let's break down her skill set. Her ability to play positions 1 through 4 gives the Fever lineup flexibility they've never had before.
But she also has the ability to play multiple positions, and that's sort of starting to emerge.
Coach Christie can use her in small ball lineups where she plays power forward, or he can put her at shooting guard to add more shooting around Clark. That kind of versatility is rare. When defenses adjust to stop one approach, Christie can completely change the look without even making a substitution, just by moving Cunningham to a different spot. Her shooting from beyond the arc makes her the perfect floor spacer for when defenses collapse on Clark.
Pace run-and-gun offense. One player already standing out is Sophie Cunningham, who arrived in Indiana via Phoenix.
Last season with Phoenix, Cunningham hit nearly 40% of her threes. That's elite level shooting. When Clark drives and the defense collapses, Sophie will be waiting to make them pay. And she doesn't need much space to get her shot off either. She has a quick release that makes it hard for defenders to contest. There's also the physical toughness factor. Cunningham brings an enforcer mentality that protects the team's stars while disrupting opponents.
Sophie Cunningham's personality may be big, but her impact on the Indiana Fever will be bigger.
She's not afraid to mix it up, set hard screens, and bring the kind of edge that championship teams need. Clark is going to face physical defenses all season, and having Sophie on the floor means opponents will think twice before getting too aggressive. She's not dirty, she's just tough, and that's something this young Fever team needs. The 6th Woman Award historically rewards scoring, pure bucket getters who light it up off the bench. Players like De'Arica Hamby and Brianna Jones have won by putting up points efficiently. But Cunningham could redefine the award with her versatility. Her impact goes way beyond the scoring column. She changes games with her defense, her passing, her rebounding, and her leadership.
She might be a real contender for Sixth Man of the Year. All right?
The advanced stats show her teams perform better when she's on the floor, even when her individual numbers don't jump off the page. What makes Sophie the perfect candidate for Sixth Woman of the Year is this rare combination of versatility, shooting, and defensive intensity that elevates everyone around her. She's not just adding her own production, she's making Clark better, making Boston better, making Mitchell better. That multiplier effect is what separates good bench players from great ones.
Is starting to sort of emerge, the Swiss Army knife kind of role on this Indiana Fever team. Very interesting. I keep saying this young lady's about to have a huge impact on this team. I did.
Tomorrow's game against the Mystics will give us our first real look at how Coach Christie plans to utilize her unique talents off the bench. Will he bring her in early to provide a spark? Will he save her for specific matchups? Will he close games with her on the floor? I'll be watching every minute to see how she fits into the rotation.
Start the season, but her ability to fill multiple roles makes her a potential X factor in Indiana's rotation.
The Mystics have some tough defenders, so Clark might face double teams early and often. That's exactly when Cunningham can shine, by making herself available, knocking down open shots, and bringing that physical edge that keeps opponents honest. If Sophie hits a couple early threes tomorrow, watch how the entire floor opens up for Clark and the rest of the Fever offense. That's the Cunningham effect, and it might just be the X factor that turns Indiana from a rebuilding team into a playoff contender this season.
And it's a great problem to have when you're talking about a championship team. You need depth.
With Caitlin Clark and Lucy Olsen possibly guarding each other tomorrow, this preseason game suddenly feels way bigger than just an exhibition. I'm so excited to see how Clark handles Olsen's defense and how Cunningham brings that spark off the bench. This could be our first real look at the Fever's new identity. Sometimes the players who make the biggest difference aren't even in the starting lineup. Cunningham might be exactly what Indiana needs, that perfect X factor who changes everything when she steps on the court.
And if the early glimpses of training camp are any indication, Cunningham is set to be the team's secret weapon. My goodness.
Don't miss this game tomorrow on NBA TV at 1 p.m. Eastern. These storylines are just getting started.